Okay, my dear students, now I am going to give you some words. These words will be used by you in past indefinite, past indefinite negative, past indefinite interrogative. Again, you can use it in the present, past continuous affirmative, negative, interrogative. Like this, you can make the sentence. I will only supply you the word. Again, you can make sentence, 5 sentences, meaning 2 sentences maybe each, or 3 sentences. It will be better for 3 sentences. 3339, 3339. Like this, anyone will come here. Thanks. You first come here. You come here. I will give you some words to make the sentence. Leave.
I left the house.
Next, we
left the house.
They
left the house.
He
left the house.
Negative.
He was not left the house. See, he did not leave the house. She did not leave the house. Boys did not leave the house.
Interrogative.
Did he leave the house? Did boys leave the house? Did she leave the house?
Okay, thanks. Then here is the another word you can begin.
I began to start my study.
He
began to start study.
She
began to start study.
Boy
began to start study.
Negative.
He did not begin to start. He did not begin to start study. She did not begin to start study. She did not begin to start study. Boys did not begin to start study.
Interrogative.
Did she begin to start study? Did he begin to start study? Did boys begin to start study?
Continuous affirmative.
I was begin to start study.
We
were begin to start study. They were begin to start study.
Beginning.
They were beginning to start study.
She
was beginning to start study.
Negative.
She was not beginning to start study.
Boy
was not beginning to start study.
Again,
we were not beginning to start study. You were not beginning to start study.
Past indefinite. Write.
I wrote the letter.
मैं खत लिखी. Okay. We
wrote a letter.
हम खत लिखे.
They wrote a letter.
He
wrote a letter.
She
wrote a letter.
Negative.
She did not write a letter. He did not write a letter. I did not write a letter.
Okay. Interrogative.
Did he write a letter? Did she write a letter? Did they write a letter?
Stand.
I stand.
Stand. Past affirmative. मैं खड़ा हुआ. I stood.
In the class.
In the class.
We stood in the class.
They
stood in the class.
Negative.
They did not stand in the class.
Boy
did not stand in the class. She did not stand in the class.
Interrogative.
Did she stand in the class?
Yes, very fine.
Did they stand in the class?
Question. Past continuous. She
was not standing in the class.
Yes.
He was not standing in the class. They were not standing in the class.
हम एक मिक्सचर करके दिए कि इसने बहुत अच्छा बोले. Interrogative.
Was they standing in the class? Were you standing in the class? Was he standing in the class? Was she standing in the class?
Very fine. This girl already has given 2 or 3 words in the whole sentence it is very fine. But remember one thing, so you also make the practice whenever you are speaking the past, past, negative, past, interrogative. Like this, you will start. You come here. Here is this. First words you should make. You make in past indefinite.
I made a project yesterday.
Yes.
Okay.
Next.
You made a project yesterday. They made a project.
Next.
I did not make a project yesterday. They did not make a project. You did not make a project.
Interrogative.
Did I make a project yesterday? Did they make a project yesterday? Did you make a project yesterday?
Continuous.
I was making a project yesterday. You were making a project yesterday. They were making a project yesterday. He was making a project yesterday. She was making a project. Boys were making a project.
Okay. Now, call.
Called. I called to my friend.
I called my friend.
Yeah, I called my friend. They called me. You called your friend. He called his friend.
Negative.
He did not call his friend. She did not call her friend. Boy did not call his friend.
Interrogative.
Did I call my friend? Did they call their friend?
Again. Continuous.
I was calling my friend. They were calling their friend. You were calling your friend.
Okay. Now, negative.
I was not calling my friend. You were not calling your friend. They were not calling their friend. He was not calling his friend. She was not calling her friend.
Interrogative.
Was I calling my friend? Were you calling your friend? Were they calling their friend?
Okay, very fine. Now, present, past indefinite. Teach.
I taught a student yesterday.
We
We were taught by our teacher.
We were why?
Oh,
We taught.
only active. Okay. We taught students.
We taught
The students. They taught English.
वो पढ़ाते हैं सब. He
taught.
teacher.
Teacher taught us yesterday.
Next, negative.
Teacher did not teach us yesterday.
Teach.
Yeah.
Teach.
Teach.
Okay.
She did not teach her student.
My brother.
My brother did not teach his student.
Teach.
His student.
Okay. Interrogative.
Did you teach your student?
They.
Did they teach their student?
Okay. Now, continuous.
I was teaching a student yesterday. He was teaching. She was teaching. We were teaching. They were teaching.
Boys.
Boys were teaching.
Negative.
Boys were not teaching. Boys did not teaching. Boys were not teaching. She was not teaching. Boys were not teaching. Brother was not teaching.
Negative. Interrogative.
Was I teaching yesterday? Was he teaching? Were we teaching? Were they teaching?
Very fine. She already has made a lot of sentence. Okay, thanks for this girl. This girl already has made a lot of sentence. like this you will make the practice. Past, indefinite, affirmative, past, negative, past, interrogative. In this 3-star way you will make the practice at home. आप प्रैक्टिस कीजिए. अगर नहीं करेंगे तो ये जल बोल रही थी, ये कितना अच्छे से बोल रही थी. अगर हम बोलेंगे ट्रांसलेशन भी तो बोल दी, ट्रांसलेशन बोलने से और अच्छे से बोलोगी. वाई यू आर गोइंग टू बी स्वेटी? अब पसीना हो गया आपको, यू आर फीलिंग ओके, पसीना हो गया, देखो ना. नाउ हेयर इज दिस, नाउ पंखा चला दो. ओके, थैंक्स. नाउ द क्लास इज गोइंग टू बी ओवर. थैंक्स अ लॉट.